What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we're diving back into the Great League with a very strong team. Galarian Stunfisk, Pelipper, Mantine, Double Flyer Water in the back, and the core of Galarian Stunfisk and Pelipper is incredibly strong, and the safe swap of Mantine is beautiful with the Ice Beam and Bubble Beam. Yes, electric type Pokemon do well against Pelipper and Mantine, but how many teams run 2 electrics? It's usually only 1 and most of the time 0, which means this team has a lot of play. Alright, getting into the first battle, we have Stunfisk on the lead versus Shiny knocked out. That is great to see, but really positive for us on the lead. We see a Trevenant come in, so we're going to go ahead and come in with the Mantine. This is what's so good about the Mantine. Yes, I could have gone for Ice Beam to try to get a shield, but the Bubble Beam is going to be perfect. Yes, we won't get a shield, but now we are extremely tanky. I will give up a shield right here as well, just to keep myself healthy, because I should be able to get to another Bubble Beam in time. This is only going to be a Seed Bomb as well. So this is just going to show the situation of what Mantine can do. Look at that bulk. That did no damage to me. I'm going to go ahead and load up on energy, go for another Bubble Beam right here to hopefully take out the Trevenant. If it survives, I might be able to farm it down, which I am, so that means one more fast attack. I maintain switch advantage, and now I have an Ice Beam on the back end for the knockout. This is going to get me even shields or just do a ton of super effective damage. Even shields. That is perfect. Now, can I get to the Bubble Beam in time? Nope, they're going to go ahead and go for the Sky Attack. This is perfect. This is exactly what I want. Sky Attack is going to go ahead and take us out. We come back in with the Galarian Stunfisk. They swap out into Swampert. We come in with the Pelipper. That is a good game. They're probably going to be surrendering right here because there's really, there's nothing they can do. Good battle right there, but double flying water backline is so strong, especially with Galarian Stunfisk. All right, we got a Shadow Granbull on the lead. So this thing's obviously dangerous, and thankfully it is running Charm, which means our Galarian Stunfisk is going to do very well. Now in this situation, I don't want to get caught out with them swapping to try to catch the charge move, so I'm just going to go ahead and overload and go for Rock Slides right here. Still going to do a ton of neutral damage. We also want to watch out for the crunch, right? Neutral damage is going to hurt. Any charge move from Shadow Granbull for neutral damage is gonna hurt. So we're just gonna keep overloading on energy, keep going for Rock Slides. We can win this matchup easily, and if we're getting shields from our opponent, that means they're probably weak in the back. So we do get a second shield. I'm gonna go ahead and overload just a little bit and go for another Rock Slide here. This should be enough damage now to take out the Shadow Granbull, and let's find out what they have in the back. It's going to be a Defense Form Deoxys, so this is actually dangerous. I'm going to build up a little bit of energy, swap into Mantine. I should have swapped right away, but now you're like, okay, Shiny Defense Form Deoxys. We're going to go ahead and shield this Thunderbolt, and this is what I want to show you guys of how strong Wing Attack and Bubble Beam can be. Remember, Mantine is water flying, massively weak, 4 times weak to electric type moves. Defense Form Deoxys has access to Thunderbolt because of the energy gain from Wing Attack, and the attack debuffs of Bubble Beam and the natural kind of defensive stats that Mantine has. Let's see how much damage this Thunderbolt is now going to do. Nope, I survived. That is beautiful. And now, unless they have Psycho Boost, which I'm guessing they do, but we still win the race. That means this Ice Beam might just be enough damage. So Mantine just went, granted we had to use a shield, but Mantine just went toe-to-toe right there, which is perfect. They're going to go ahead and throw the Psycho Boost as well, which means it was a CMP tie, which is perfect. I'm going to go ahead and come in with Pelipper now, load up on energy. And the final Pokemon is going to be a Toxapex. So I'm going to go ahead and swap out, go for the Earthquake right here for super effective damage as all shields are down. And that is going to be a good game. Well, nope, Toxapex is extremely tanky, able to hang on right there. So we are going to be able to get to a Rock Slide, but this is going to be a good game. The Pelipper should be able to survive a Sludge Wave if they try to farm me down, which I don't think they do. They decide they CMP tie right here. So Pelipper is going to take it, but my goodness, it's just the doors that open when you have a Mantine with some shield, some extra energy. You have this shield bait with Bubble Beam plus the debuff. You also have the Ice Beam for good coverage. It is such a good Pokemon, and it pairs so well with this team. All right, moving into the next one. We have Stunfisk on the lead versus Wigglytuff again. I saw a lot of Charmers today. Not gonna lie, I saw a lot of Charmers today. We see a swap out into Umbreon. So this is a unique situation where I am gonna go ahead and let the Umbreon throw. I want to land this Earthquake as well, because we're gonna do 2 things. Firstly, I want to soak some energy from Umbreon with these foul plays, which they decide to throw right here, which is fine. I can tank this. I want also the health on Umbreon to be about 50% because now I'm going to come in with Mantine. I'm going to look to go for Bubble Beam as quickly as I can. The faster I can apply these attack debuffs to the Umbreon, the less damage these foul plays are going to do, which means I will be in a situation where I can farm down with Mantine and Wing Attack and still have positive switch advantage without having to give up shield. So here comes another foul play. You guys saw how much damage that first one did. It's not doing anything. This is the oppression that Mantine has with Bubble Beam and Wing Attack. So we're going to go ahead and go for another one. And now I might have to shield. We'll have to see how much damage this does, but Umbreon should be able to get to 2 more foul plays. And this is going to be extremely close because I'm going to go for the no shield on this first one. Let's see how much damage this does. Yeah, I'm going to have to shield because the subsequent snarl damage. Granted, I could have gotten away without throwing this Bubble Beam now watching it back. But we do get a shield right there, which is perfect. That means we're going to be able to get to another one in time and force that final shield from Umbreon if they're going to try to take switch advantage, which they are. They're going to give up 2 shields. I still have yet to give up a shield. I might be able to survive this, but I'm going to give up the shield anyways. Maintain positive switch, so I have the Galarian Stunfisk against the Wigglytuff. And then let's see if Mantine can get to another charge move here. If Wigglytuff comes in, I don't think it's going to happen because Charm should be enough damage. No, not able to get it. So we have Galarian Stunfisk still. They swap out into Whiscash. We come in with Pelipper, and this is going to be a good game. You guys got to remember, if you have a full health Pelipper versus a Whiscash like this, a Blizzard will not one-shot. You do not need to shield. Mudshot does no damage right here. You can safely, in this situation that you guys see, Pelipper with 1 shield full health, Whiscash with full health no shields, I can safely no shield everything right here. Whether it's a Mud Bomb or a Blizzard, I do not care because the Mud Bomb, as you see, does no damage. And what you guys are going to see is a Blizzard now come through, and I'm going to no shield it. You can survive. It is okay. Pelipper can survive this. Blizzard, yep, we're fine. We're going to go ahead and farm down, and then that is going to be a good game, very well played, because we can go for Weather Ball here. We still have a shield. We still have Galarian Stunfisk with some energy, and that is, yep, that is going to be able to take it as the Galarian Stunfisk can now come in and go for the Earthquake. So just the potential that Mantine provides you and your team, given the right situations and you play it correctly, is astounding. I was so impressed with Mantine. Now we got a Skarmory here on the lead, another positive lead right here. So let's see what they decide to do. They're deciding to stay in, so I'm going to go ahead and overload on energy. And let's see if they decide to swap out. Yep, there's the swap out. Another Umbreon comes in. So same situation as before. We're going to throw this Earthquake. And we're also going to load back up with energy and soak a foul play. It's very, very important. I have a Rock Slide ready to go on the back end for that Skarmory when we face off against it. So now that they've thrown their first foul play, I swap into Mantine. We're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to go ahead now. Granted, they got this first foul play off, so I'm actually going to no-shield it. In hindsight, I probably should shield this one because I believe later down the line I shield another foul play. So we're going to go ahead and go for these Bubble Beams now. Start nerfing the Umbreon just like we did in the previous battle, maintaining switch advantage and desperately hoping not to give up a shield. But again, I messed up twice there. Firstly, I should probably shield the first foul play. Secondly, I should be throwing these Bubble Beams as fast as I can get it because that's just more damage. And more attack debuff to that Umbreon because every Snarl, every extra foul play really starts to add up. So hopefully they get to another one in time. I'm going to go ahead and no-shield it. This is risky, but I think I should be able to farm down right here. 1, 2, 3. Yep, I farmed down. Perfect. Mantine actually clutched this. We're able to get to the Ice Beam as well, just like Noctowl in Game 1. Ice Beam here against Skarmory in Game 2. 50% of the HP. Not enough to get the Bubble Beam, though. Galarian Stunfisk comes in. We have a Rock Slide already locked and loaded because we overloaded when that Umbreon came in. Remember, I said it was very important to get that energy on the back end. They decide to shield. Azumarill now comes in, so I'm going to go ahead and come in with the Pelipper. And it's important, I know I ran Blizzard in the Remix Cup, but it's very important to have Hurricane in Open Great League because of the Azumarill matchup. You have to be able to do that neutral damage. Now, I decided to no-shield right there. I could survive anything the Azumarill throws first. So we're just going to go ahead and go for this Hurricane. They decide to no shield that as well, which is fine by me. I'm going to start loading up on energy. I want to have multiple weather balls ready to go for Skarmory on the back end. That way we can get the shield and chunk the health. So we shield it next. Play rough. We're going to try our best to commit to the full farm down, but I actually don't think I'm going to be able to make it before they could get to an Ice Beam. So we're just going to go ahead, throw this weather ball. They decide to shield. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just try to farm down. They swap out into Skarmory now to throw the charge move, which is fine. I can shield here on the Pelipper to stop the Sky Attack. I can now go for the multiple weather balls that I have loaded here, as it's going to do quite a bit of neutral damage. So there is the first one, and then we're going to go ahead and throw the second one now. And then we're going to swap into the our Galarian Stunfisk here and look to farm down with Mud Shot. We should be able to survive. This was not enough for Hydro Pump, so which means it should just be Ice Beam. Yeah, it is an Ice Beam. So that is going to be a good battle. Very well played right there. All right, moving to the next one. We have Stunfisk on the lead versus Venusaur. Okay, so kind of a tough matchup. I'm going to go ahead and swap out into the Mantine. And this is that situation where Wing Attack is doing super effective damage. I believe I decided to give up a shield here. Yeah, I give up a shield on the first Frenzy Plant. We can threaten with Ice Beam. That's what's very important. We're going to go ahead and build up to that Ice Beam. And then I'm going to throw the Bubble Beam now that I have two. Because if they shield this one, I want to throw the second one right away. They do shield, so I'm going to go ahead and throw the second one instantly. That way this Frenzy Plant coming in, because we are in the 1-to-1 shield, is going to do far less damage. But we get two shields! I'm like, oh man, they must be so weak to Mantine in the back, having given up two shields with Venusaur, that I'm going to let Mantine go now. Granted, the Frenzy Plant did no damage because Bubble Beam is so good, that I want to have Pelipper. If they shielded Venusaur twice in this situation, Pelipper is going to be sweeping their team. Now, I tried to do a catch there on Galarian Stunfisk, but that wasn't meant to be. We'll let this Frenzy Plant go through. We're going to come with Pelipper and farm down because their backline has to be weak. And there is a Swampert. So Venusaur and Swampert, my guess now is they are actually running Charizard, so a triple starter team, which is always fun to see. And granted, all three Pokemon are very strong. Swampert and Venusaur always have been, but Charizard with the Wing Attack update now is very strong on certain teams. This Hurricane here, boom, one-shots the Swampert, and final Pokemon it was Fire Flying, but it's actually a Talonflame right here. Now, I know this battle, I think this is Fire Spin on the Talonflame from the Battler. I'm guessing they don't have an elite fast TM, so they're wishing they had the Incinerate. But just a heads up, if you guys are thinking about running Talonflame, it is worth having that Incinerate if you can afford it with an elite TM, or maybe get a trade for the Legacy move. Because Talonflame with Incinerate is the play, and that is a good battle. So this team was so much fun. The synergy that it had, the coverage that it has, the baits, the shield. Oh, it's a beautiful, strong team. Galarian Stunfisk, Pelipper, and Mantine. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.